Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This is Pamela. You are watching Pam Entertainment TV, where we review movies, television series, and incidents in pop culture to see how those incidents may or may not affect our daily lives. Listen, we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to go over. I was going to try to do some of these things individually, but you know how life be lifing over here. So we're going to try that loop up all of this together. So we're going to go over the information as quickly as we can. And if you have any questions or anything like that, let me know and leave it down in the comments. Okay, housekeeping, y'all hit that like button. And if you like what you see, subscribe. I really appreciate it. It helps me, it helps my engagement. Anyway, there's always little snafus around here. It helps me. It helps my engagement. Hello, 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 loyalty. Thank you so much for joining. Hit that like button for me. Um, it helps me with my engagement. So let's get into all these things that I have found that I wanted to be able to talk about. First of all, I want to be able to say rest in peace to Miss Viola Wallace. If you are not familiar with who she is, Viola Wallace was the mother of the notorious B.I.G., Biggie Smalls, Biggie, whatever you call it. She passed away yesterday. Now, it says that she passed away in hospice, but they also say that she passed away in hospice, but she died of natural causes. So that leads me to assume that she had an illness that was not going, she had a terminal illness. So rest in peace to Miss Viola Wallace. All right. So if you haven't been living under a rock, you all know that ASAP Rocky was found not guilty from his trial a couple of days ago. If you weren't familiar, ASAP Rocky was charged with 2 counts of assault with a semi-automatic weapon. In both counts, he was found not guilty. So the ASAP Relly, who was the victim in this case, he has made a statement in regards to this, and we're going to talk about that statement. Let me get down here. He had this on one, I think it was on his Instagram account. Basically, he says is gossiping is a form of entertainment for people who have no meaningful goals or purpose in life. Hate me, bring shame to my name, say bad things about me. I do not care. All right. So that's the statement from the victim, ASAP Relly. Again, ASAP Rocky, who is the partner of Rihanna, was on trial for the past 2.5 weeks in regards to assault with a semi-automatic weapon. There are some jurors that spoke out in regards to this, and basically what they stated that a couple of them believed that it was a real gun. The others believed that they didn't believe that the state proved their case beyond a reasonable doubt. And I think what really kind of swayed some of them was how the chain of evidence, how if you had police officers who combed the area where they were and they didn't find it was 7, how did he automatically come up with some shell casings? Where did he come up with shell casings? I think that was part of the issue that they had problems with, and that's a part of the issue that the prosecution didn't try to, they just made the statement, but they didn't go over how that happened. Also, in my opinion, now this is my opinion on the thing, I questioned where was he in between those 2 days before he found those shell casings that he took to the police. Because one of the things that did come out is about him shooting at a shooting range in LA. And since nobody really questioned about where he was in those 2 days, or they didn't go through his GPS records and see to figure out where he was in those 2 days before he went to the police department. That was an interesting thing for me. Now, does that negate what went on? No. So now I'm fixing to get into just my opinion about the whole situation. I just want to get in really quickly. And let me put this up really quick. The views and opinions expressed in my videos represent my own thoughts and concerns and analysis. I do not know these entities or persons personally, and my opinions are not based in fact. I need to put that up there. But let me just put this out here for you all. The the one thing in regards to ASAP Rocky that I hope that he will get through his head is that he has too much to lose. He has to he has children to raise. He has his businesses to continue to work through. He has a lot to lose to be in this type of be in that type of behavior. And what do I mean by that? Once you get to a point that you're a celebrity status, and I know this has a lot to do with men. Men always want to feel like they are in control of all the things that go on around them, and they want to take care of all of these things that go on around them personally. But once you get into a situation like this, you need to always have your bodyguard to handle those things, and or to and you need to separate yourself from the BS. You need to separate yourself from the people that are causing you issues or problems. You don't need to be arguing back and forth with them, because this is a clear example of how you have someone that you're arguing back and forth with that can escalate into something that it doesn't need to be, and how you almost spent 20 years in jail. Because again, wherever you go, whatever state you go to, whatever country that you go to, the laws are different. Now, where something like this would in New York State would have been handled one way, in California is something different. I mean, I learned from listening to the lawyers on YouTube, but the way that assault is handled over there, you know how two people can be fussing at each other, but you could be fussing at each other and you do something like this, just you raising your hand, and just that person seeing you raise your hand, and they get the image that you're going to strike. Y'all, in California, they can take away 9 years of your life for that. You may not have ever struck them, but that's considered to be the assault. The battery is when you lay your hands on them. And so what I'm trying to impart to you all is this. Once it gets to the point where you have to argue with somebody about something that's you or yours, it is so, yes, you can get up to the way that law is situated. It have it in, and like I said, it's at the mercy of the prosecution, because you can get 1 year, you can get 3 years, you can get 6 years, you can get 9 years. And each time you do it is a different charge. But that's the way they have the assault thing set up. Now with the semi-automatic, again, we go back to the thing, but it's clear that the laws are strict. And so you need to understand those things wherever you go to. And the reason why I'm talking like this to ASAP Rocky is because back in 2017, 2018, he spent about almost 6 to 9 months in jail over in a Dutch jail, because now he was set up. However, he should have known at that point that people don't mean him any good. I mean, there was some, I think that they were YouTubers or streamers that were following him too closely. He had asked them several times to leave him alone, but apparently in Dutch law, they can do that as long as they don't touch him. And so they didn't touch him. They were walking very, very close to him, but they didn't touch him. They were aggravating him because they knew that he was going to they were setting him up to lash out, and he did lash out. And because he touched them and they were fighting, him and his bodyguard, I believe at the time, he was sent to jail. And I think it was Trump or somebody that helped him get out of jail over there in Dutch, because I think he was looking at 2 or 3 years. I don't remember how much time it was. But my whole point is this. Once you reach to that status, as you go on, you have to reevaluate your relationships. Again, I heard the best thing. You be a good person. You don't necessarily have to be nice. And what I mean by a good person is you do what you need to do to make sure that you and your family or the people who you hold dear are safe and they can thrive. And that means that you have to operate within shades of gray. That means you're a good person, and there are going to be times when you're going to be doing some things that are not going to be considered nice. And that's okay. But you're doing what you need to do to be able to take care of your family. And I hope that he gets the lesson that those people over there that don't mean him any good, you don't be arguing back and forth and doing text messages and all that. Don't do all of that. Leave these people alone. Because, see, that's the second strike you've gotten. So you need to figure out what's important to you, because the way you jumped over there in Rihanna's arms, if she is that important to you, you need to be making sure that you stand up and do what you need to do, and stay away from those people who you believe are not going to mean you any harm, and also get you a doggone bodyguard so you won't have to be carrying any guns, any prop guns, any of those things. You have a right to bear arms, yes you do. But when you're out here doing your work and your business, you let the people who you hire handle all those things. And hello everybody, let me see who I have in here. Yes, you could get up to, and again, this is what got Tory Lanez and all them people. You saw the sentence that Tory Lanez got. All those people that get over there in California, you get caught up in all of those different things. Hey, unapologetic simmer, so glad to see you. I was just in a situation like this in November. Thankfully, no one was hurt or went to jail, even though the cops were called. Exactly. Hey, Blue. So it's so important that you all use this. And because street code does not translate well in different places. I'm so sorry. How you was acting with mom and them after a spades game don't translate like that. If you're going to your job, if you're going to someone's established business establishment, or any of those things don't translate. And so you need to make sure that you're acting accordingly. And if you feel like you can't act right, or you have no act right, then stay your butt at home. Stay at home. All right. And a little side thing in regards to this, because this is what I don't understand. Let me share. Who makes a bet with 50 Cent? Who answers a bet with 50 Cent? Now, your girl Megan Cuniff out here, 50 Cent on, I think it was Twitter, had stated a couple of weeks ago that he had he said that ASAP Rocky is going to get off on both charges, and he bet $500,000 on it. Megan Cuniff gets out here and says, I'll take you up on that bet. Baby, do you not realize 50 Cent is looking for that money? And I don't think she has it. I don't think she has it. And the thing that we understand, and I don't know if she understands, so I'm going to make it break down. Two people that I do not want to ever get on their bad side in the celebrity world is 50 Cent and Kendrick Lamar. Because those two people, petty game is strong. I think 50 Cent is still looking for that $10,000 from Tierra Marie, who used to be on Love and Hip Hop back in the day. I think he's still looking for that money. So let's get into it. So it says here, basically, following ASAP's acquittal from what he said on Twitter, he's looking for Cuniff to pay the bet off. And I saw on Twitter, aka X, that they are reminding her or trying to explain to her he the wrong person to be in some bet, because this man will be looking for his money and he will have beef with you forever. So we will see if he'll hold her accountable. We know he was holding, but he did go to court in regards to Tierra Marie. But we'll see if he'll continue to hold Megan Cuniff accountable for her wager, in which she lost, because she was very sure that ASAP Rocky was going to be convicted, and he was not. And so, I mean, she was even walking into the courtroom saying, well, I think with the quick jury, with the jury coming back with a verdict so quickly, it's a sure thing that he is going to be convicted. And that's not what had happened. So we will continue here. Let me show you 50 Cent's tweet. I'm sorry, I took it off the screen before I showed you his tweet. But here it is. This is 50 Cent. And this is on his Instagram, it looks like. I got ASAP beating this case. I'll bet 500,000 on it. That boy ASAP Telly was trying to get some money. Fool said I was scared for my life, so I went back to the scene and picked up these shells. Officers told him, hey, if you want to get some money, go to the hospital. Who want the bet? And so here we go. Megan Cuna says, I'll take that bet. And so, baby, wrong person for you to be trying to wrong person for you to be trying to pull up a bet with, child. That is not going to work well for you. All right. So in this, let's go on to here. Now, as have been reported, the VMA case, with Sean Combs and Sean Carter, aka Jay-Z, that whole case has been dismissed because there was no evidence. And after people, the internet, shout out to you internet sleuths, as they were going through there, they realized that her story didn't make any sense. What we couldn't understand is why Tony Busby did not vet this case. He wanted to blame it on the lawyers that presented that case to him. However, if you're going to be in the courtroom arguing this case, you need to know at least what you're arguing has some validity or some truth. So I blame the attorneys for that. Am I saying that this young woman, that woman at that time, didn't go through something? No. But from what she said and how she explained it, her stories have more holes in it than Swiss cheese, and it's not adding up. 1x plus 2x equals 3x is the math ain't mathing on the stuff that she says. And then the other people who she talked about, either they were not present, they have verbalized that they weren't present at the time. And even her father had mentioned that he didn't remember driving 5.5 hours, or at least 11 hours to pick her up from Manhattan when they lived in Rochester, New York. So, however, the reason why I bring that up so we could be familiar about Jay-Z, apparently he is being sued by his shareholders. Now, I do have a copy of that lawsuit. I may read it in this time, but overall, this is what the lawsuit is saying. So it was filed by Viraj Patel, who is a shareholder. I don't know why. It must be something when I sit down in here to do these videos, because my nose will not run at any other time as I'm walking through my house and doing something else. But as soon as I sit down and talk to my peoples, my entertainers, nose all running, got to pull all these little rags out to get my nose. Tighten up, nose. Tighten up. Anyway, it says here, and let me share my screen. I'm just talking about stuff, and you know I share my screen. So basically, it's saying that he filed the suit in the district court for the Northern District of California. He says here it seeks to hold the company's directors accountable for alleged failures that hurt Block's value. The complaint targets Jay-Z, Dorsey, and 13 other current and former board members. Now, I'm reading this. I apologize. I do have the links to all the sources that I read from. So this is from Hyperfresh. And who is it written by? I guess it's via X. It's not really telling me who it's written by, but let's continue. Let me see. Block's leadership ignored clear warning signs and misled shareholders about the app's safety and compliance with anti-money laundering laws. These failures, the suit argues, expose the company to regulatory penalties and reputational damage, a risk that's already hitting hard. So basically, it's big money people issues going on here, and I don't know how excited I am to see about big money issues, because they should be able to do all that. I did not know, however, that Jay-Z sold title to this particular company, so he's in a whole nother lawsuit. It's not connected with Diddy, so I just wanted to share that information with you, and we're going to go on. All right, where is? All right, so I lost an article, so we're not going to go over that, okay? But it's just between Meg the Stallion and Milagro. Uh-oh. Let me see what y'all talking about. The same situation happened to me to my neighbor on New Year's Day. Hers was a little bit more aggressive since the dude broke her window. Ooh, no. Let's hope she paid it. Let's hope she paid it because at one point in time it was like get up off her neck. However, she got out there and was bold and said some things about him that the court said that was not truth, and that she had to pay him. I think it's for his legal fees. I think that's what she's basically paying for. And she had to pay that money, and he was looking for that money. So I'm looking for Megan Cuniff, baby. Don't make no more bets with 50 Cent, if anything. And they're like people who want to hold her accountable, talking about, oh, but betting is illegal. She lives in the state of California, so betting is illegal, I think, over there. Y'all let me know if that's the case. I don't know if she can take a bet like that or not. I don't know. But all I'm saying is, y'all, 50 Cent and Kendrick Lamar's petty is on 1,000. Do not make any bets with them, and do not try to diss them in no rap. That's all I'll say. Yeah, because I think she said, didn't she say something about he was gonna be convicted on all the counts? I think that's what she said. But anyway, let's continue. Oh, Megan, just stick to reporting the news, baby. Don't try to make no more bets. So my other thing is I was going to talk about what's her name? Megan the Stallion and her lawsuit is basically right now back and forth, back and forth. Megan had amended her lawsuit. Milagro answered, and they're still continuing. I know that Milagro is still asking for the case to be dismissed. I don't think that that's what's happening. However, All right, so let's get into this stuff because it has been a week in this Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni thing saga. So much information has come out. So basically, what I will do is I will go over the information that I have. There are lawsuits. There are lawsuits abound that have been filed. She blah, blah, blah. Blake Lively filed her lawsuit Tuesday, baby. And when I tell you it was a minute from midnight in the late night hour, she filed her lawsuit in the late night hour. Now, what big changes did she have? Basically, it wasn't too many big changes. She did add the Jeb, what was his name from Texas, the one who she was trying to dismiss down in Texas. She did add his name to this particular lawsuit because remember, he filed in Texas about a defamation against her about that lawsuit. And then she's added him to that. She's also mentioned two actresses that had filed harassment charges against Justin Baldoni and Jamie Heath. Now, also in the wind that was out here, and particularly I saw them on Reddit, there were these harassment complaints emails to Sony that were sent into Sony. Sony said in a Variety article that they did not receive or had any HR complaints, and that if there was any HR complaints, it had to go to Wayfarer, because Wayfarer was the production company that put out the film, and so they said that they didn't receive anything. And I'm gonna leave that at that. So there were 3 complaints. Now, 2 of them sound like the same information that Blake Lively sent in. There was one piece of information that I don't know where it came from, but a lot of the consensus is that they felt like those Sony HR complaints were not real, because we did not see those instances or complaints or emails attached to her amended lawsuit. But however, let me read this. Let's go over this article. I have the lawsuit. I think we went over a little bit before. For some reason my stream cut up so bad. Y'all, I'm in the middle. I'm on StreamYard free right now, but I'm in the middle of trying to get a new streaming service that's affordable. And I was using YouTube's streaming service, but what I found with that is there are things that they were copywriting that they didn't copyright before. And it's like the same information and the same material that I used before. So I don't know exactly what's going on with all of this. But anyway, so they have a free service for me to be able to use. I'm going to use that until I find something that I can work and maneuver. I tried OBS, but it just seems like every time I come back into OBS, my settings don't seem to be saved, or I can't use the settings again. So I'm having to delete the settings and put them back in. It's a whole lot of different things. Don't know, but okay. Never said I was tech savvy, but I do want to get the information out to you. All right, let's share this tab. So this is the Hollywood Reporter. The article is written by Pamela McClintock and Winston Cho. It says it ends with us. Blake Lively claims 2 other actresses are prepared to testify against Justin Baldoni. Now, we'll go over this article. Now, they're saying that the 2 actresses are the lady that played his sister in the movie and the young girl that played young Lily in the movie. And I'll get their names in here. But they haven't come forth with any lawsuits. They haven't. I don't know if they have done any HR complaints or anything like that. I do have an article that we're going to review about Jenny Slate. We're going to review in regards to Jenny Slate, but they have not come forth with any type of lawsuit, complaint, civil rights complaint, any of those things. They have not come forward with any of those things. So she's mentioning these 2 things, I guess, to add to to bolster her amendment complaint. So let's go ahead and go over this. It says the new allegations were part of an amended complaint filed late Tuesday by Lively. And when I tell y'all late, because it was like they must have filed it like at 11. I don't know how long it takes to upload it, but it didn't come out on the thing until about a little bit after midnight. So I don't know when exactly they did, but it was a push. They pushed that time right to the end. The new allegations are part of an amended complaint filed late Tuesday by Lively, including that Baldoni's Wayfarer partner and billionaire Steve Sarowitz allegedly told a witness he will protect the studio like Israel protected itself from Hamas. What bothers me is don't do that. Don't do that. Don't bring up something like that has a lot of people upset, because it has a lot to do with GENOCIDE. It has a lot to do with those things. So don't try to make your situation comparable to any of those things, or highlighting those types of statements. This is his company. I would assume that he would do whatever he needs to do to keep his company solvent. But to make sure that you put those types of things in, I don't know. I don't like that. I just don't like that. So Blake Lively's legal battle with her It Ends With Us director and co-star took a new turn late Tuesday night when she filed an amended complaint alleging that 2 other actresses on the set of the film are prepared to testify as to their own uncomfortable experiences with Justin Baldoni or with his Wayfarer studio partners, Jamie Heath. So what does that mean? Again, if they're going to testify, hey, I felt uncomfortable with some talk or anything like that, that's fine. I think that's fine. You tell your truth. However, I think that I don't know if I would have put that in there, because you're putting people on the spot, and you're putting people out here because the nosy nosies of us are going to go and dig, the internet's researchers are going to go and dig and figure out these people. And right now, the situation between Blake Lively, her husband Ryan Reynolds, and Justin Baldoni, they are like uranium right now. They're radioactive, and no one wants to get near them, because right now they don't have any shield or protection or anything around them. Uranium is good if you want to have nuclear power and stuff like that, but you got to have different protocols and sets and things like that. And right now they are radioactive regardless of what side you fall on or not. And these two people are like I said, these three people are radioactive. And to put somebody in the middle of this, even though you've made it anonymous, however, doesn't take rocket science to go back to that cast and realize there's like 4 or 5 women on that cast. So then you're just, we know that you're on here. So now it's a level of elimination. Depending on what was said about what was going on, it's just a little level of information. And so unless you've talked to these people and they are okay about their names and stuff being out here or being discovered, you should have kept that in discovery. Says the suit does not name the actresses, quote, directly from their text or include screenshots out of context that they may be exposed to the same sort of cyberbullying and threats Lively and her husband, Ryan Reynolds, claim that they have endured. But again, you put their information out there, you know that people are going to read this, see this, they're going to be able to make, you got Chat GPT out here that can sit out here and take your text messages and match them up to your speech patterns and interviews. So I'm sorry. I think that would have been something that you could have put in discovery without having to put all their information in there at that point. But again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just saying what I think. Sources indicate, see there, that the two women are actresses Jenny Slate and Isabella Fiera, who could not immediately be reached for comment. Slate is a veteran comic actress and known for her roles in Park and Recreation and Everything Everywhere All at Once. Fiera is a newcomer to the industry and was only around 23 at the time of filming when she played the younger version of Lively's character. And that's a problem. You putting these people out here, and if they don't want to be involved in it at this point, it should be under wraps until they decide that they want to be in a thing. And you may end up causing them some, being pariahs in the industry, because again, they're being attached to you three. And at this point, regardless of what team you fall on, they're like uranium. These people are radioactive at this point. And so no one really wants to be attached to all of that. And I just think that I don't like that. I don't like that at all. If you're wanting to be attached to it, then, allow those people to be able to do that. But I don't like you attaching people to that. And as we're talking about Jenny Slate, there is a Just Jared article that comes out and says, now this is something that they saying that she did. It says here, and this is a Just Jared article, and it was written by Just Jared staff. It says Jenny Slate lodged complaint against Justin Baldoni, Justin Baldoni's partner, while filming It Ends With Us. Reason why revealed. So let's see what this reason is. It says here the 42 actress in her recently amended lawsuit, Blake Lively said that 2 other women on the set of It Ends With Us lodged complaints against Justin Baldoni and other members of his team. It appears that one of those women is Jenny Slate. The 42-year-old actress appeared alongside Blake and Justin in the movie as Alyssa, Lily's best friend and Ryle's sister. A new report suggested that Jenny was one of the actresses who complained about her experience on set. The complaint allegedly had to do with Justin's partner, Jamie Heath, who was the president of their production company, Wayfair. According to reporting by The Hollywood Reporter, and we'll go back to there, Jenny was uncomfortable with the way that Jamie interacted with her while discussing the apartment she was renting while filming. She was reportedly unhappy with the apartment that she initially rented, but felt stuck there due to a large security deposit. Jamie is said to have offered to cover the cost of getting out of the lease through Wayfair. However, apparently he made the offer using language that made Slate so uncomfortable, sources say. All right, let's get back to this article. So it says here in a statement, Brian Friedman, who is Baldoni's lawyer, said that Lively's revised lawsuit is filled with unsubstantial hearsay of unnamed persons who are clearly no longer willing to come forward or publicly support her claims. Since documents do not lie and people do, the upcoming depositions of those who initially supported Miss Lively's false claim and those who are witnesses to her own behavior will be enlightening. What is truly uncomfortable here is Miss Lively's lack of actual evidence. And so what I'm trying to do is go through this article to see where Just Jared got their information from. All right, here. According to the amended suit, experiences of Lively and others were documented at the time they occurred, beginning in May of 2023. Now, you remember when we looked over those three things, when they, because what was redacted was the name of the people who it was sent to, the date that was redacted, and the people who were involved in there. And the only thing we saw on one of them is an M. So let's continue. It says beginning of May 2023, documented on the time they occurred, beginning in May of 2023. Lively confided in a text to a woman who was a mutual friend of Baldoni and Heath. I was going to invite you to set tomorrow. These people, whoa, it's like HR nuts today. The both of them. I wasn't expecting that turn. I mean, it's been present, but today I came home and cried. Further in the exchange, Lively describes Mr. Baldoni and Mr. Heath as creeps. Like, keep your hormones to yourself. This is not mine. I don't want it. I don't want your gaze or words, tongues or videos of your naked wife. Yeah, it's shocking. Clowns, stated the amended lawsuit. Because we do know from what Justin has said that they were talking about, there was a birthing scene and everybody was adding their input about the birthing scene. And somewhere, somehow, Justin had made mention about the birthing scene, and they were talking about when their wives or whatever made birth. And Jamie Heath came on set with a video of his wife giving birth, or something like that. It was something to that effect. Now, in my opinion, I don't know, that seems a little, to describe it is one thing, to show it to me is another thing. And particularly whether or not you had the thing, whether or not that you had your wife's consent or not, I don't know if that would be something that I would show on set. I would keep that. I don't, even if I had my wife's consent, I still don't know if that would be something that I would just describe more so than I would show. Just cause that's a Pam thing. I don't know how to do things, there are some people who are like that, but for me, I don't know if I would even want to do that, even show that, unless I would describe it. But anyway, let's continue. But we know that particular thing that happened is basically what I'm saying. The amended complaint also added a new claim for defamation based on repeated false statements the defendant have allegedly made about Miss Lively since she filed her original complaint, and adds Jed Wallace and his company as defendants, according to a spokesperson for Lively. Wallace is a crisis PR manager, was brought on by Wayfair, and has worked closely with Baldoni's lawyers, Brian Friedman, and crisis PR manager Melissa Nathan. Because you remember, she was taking him off in Texas, and then he filed suit, and now I guess he's back in. The amended complaint further alleges that Wayfair co-founder and billionaire Steven Sarowitz told a witness that he'll protect the studio, like I just repeated. I'm not going to even repeat that. The complaint claims he told this unnamed witness there will be two bodies pruned from the timeline when I'm done. Minimum. Not dead, but you're dead to me. So that kind of dead, but dead to a lot of people. So in other words, it sounds like he was saying that he was going to end the career according to what they were saying. Not sure. Lively alleges in her original complaint that he has not denied telling another third party that he was prepared to spend $100 million to ruin the lives of Miss Lively and her family. Wayfair reps did not immediately respond to a request for comment, and I'm always interested in that. And now, was this something said after you have the lawsuits, or was this something said before? Because that to me provides context, because it's like if they said it because they were angry about what happened or what was going on, that's one thing. You see what I'm saying? That's somebody reacting to you, reacting to what you're saying. It's another thing if it was said that they were just going to do it. It had nothing to do with what was going on here. I'm not trying to excuse it. I'm just trying to figure out, because context and timelines are very important to me. And what context would you say some things like that? Because sometimes one of the things that I have found with certain people is there is an action that happens, and then there's a reaction from the other person. Now, the person who started the action will then turn around and say, take the reaction and try to make that the initial action that happened. So let me go back over that again. You'll have situations where you have two people, let's say, arguing. So you have person A, you have person B. Now, person A will say all these types of things to person B. And then person B will react by saying something back to person A. So then, because person A wants to win this by any means necessary, person A will go to person C and tell them what person B did, but they will state what person B did as if that was the initial action, when what person B did was the reaction to person A's initial action. And they will sit back and try to make it seem like person B reaction was the cause of all of these problems in the first place. So I'm wondering if it's something that has happened in that regard. Let's see. The new allegations from Lively filed Tuesday expands on the narrative that she detailed in her initial lawsuit, accusing Baldoni and his public relations team of undermining her reputation in retaliation for speaking up about misconduct on the set of the film. It's her first chance at responding in court to Baldoni's lawsuit against her and her husband for defamation and extortion. In that complaint, Baldoni has argued that Lively raised objections about his behavior, which including entering her trailer uninvited while she was breastfeeding and improvising an unwanted kissing scene during filming. Lively amended suit tries to paint a different picture, citing correspondence from Sony's exec supporting her cut of the film. It also suggests that Wayfair launched an HR investigation last month. Among the other reasons, but why would they support that? See, these are the things that I'm not getting any answers. Why would Sony support her cut? Why was Sony so big to all her demands? Why were they meeting those demands? No one, not in either one of these lawsuits, is answering that question for me. Why did Sony make the big move that they made in her favor, as far as her taking over the film, her doing all of these things? Why was that allowed? Why did they support her in that? Why did they not trust Justin Baldoni's direction and all of the? Why was he why did that happen? There has to be, there is a reason why all of this happened. And I hope we find all this out in discovery. And I hope we find all this information out when they go to court. All right. I don't want to read it. That's basically it on that. But also, let's see what this one is. Still a couple more articles and stuff like this, because this Justin Baldoni is continues to give. All right. Now this is from TMZ, and TMZ usually does things in a team effort. It says here, Blake Lively's publicist says, I didn't want to start a war, so please delete me from the lawsuit. So she has filed a lawsuit. I have seen it. I can go over that lawsuit at a later time, but apparently she wants to be dismissed from this lawsuit. Interesting, because again, what we're finding out, it says publicist says she shouldn't be a defendant in Justin Baldoni's lawsuit against Blake because despite this Baldoni's claims to the contrary, she didn't start this public relations war. Leslie Stone, owner of Vision PR, filed a motion to dismiss herself and her company from the civil lawsuit Justin Baldoni's team filed against Lively and her husband, claiming that there is no factual basis that she started a PR war against Baldoni. Sloan claims Baldoni's amended complaint provides no evidence to back this claim, and we'll just continue. But just to let you know that she has filed a lawsuit to back up, which is interesting, and it's not so much, in my opinion, that there weren't things that happened. What I am suspecting from these lawsuits and this back and forth is that people are losing business. People are losing business. No one is wanting to be associated with these people while there's a lawsuit going on. People are losing business. They're losing dollars. They're losing money. And so now, it was quote unquote okay PR to have it come out. But now as time continues, these people are not able to do what they need to do, and they're losing their standing and their holding in the entertainment business. So they want to be pulled out of it. So we will see. Y'all, let me see. I think that is it. I took my reading glasses off too quick. Hold on. That's it. So that's what we got going on here in entertainment news. Y'all let me know down in the comments in regards to the Sloan lawsuit to be dismissed, with the Meg Thee Stallion lawsuit, with the Jay-Z lawsuit. If you want me to read over those lawsuits on live, y'all let me know. I'll be more than willing to do that. If not, I'll just let y'all to see the source and y'all be able to do that. If we want to go over any one of those things. We briefly went over the amended complaint. And so we basically kind of hit the highlights of that amended complaint, but the other lawsuits in regards to this, I would be more than willing to go back over those things as well. Y'all let me know down in the comments. All right, people, we do this every week. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this video if you care. Again, thank you all so much for rocking with me and on this journey. I appreciate it. If there is something that you want me to go over, if there is something that you want to go through, I'm keeping my community post updated. If there's something that you want to go over, you can definitely put it at the bottom of this particular video. Or if not, you can put it over in my community post. I'm going to put a post about what you want me to talk about kind of post. And y'all can put those things down in that particular post as well. I'm going to do that when I come off of here. Again, please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this video if you care. Y'all, please tell a friend, tell a kin, tell a coworker, tell that heifer that you can't stand that I'm over here making these videos. And as always, people, bye-bye.